So you've probably already picked your pile based on the crystal in the thumbnail image for this video, but I'll just go through them again. So pile 1, we have Amazonite. Pile 2, we have Amethyst. Pile 3, we have Sodalite. And pile 4, we have blue Chalcedony. There is a crystal card in each pile describing the properties of the crystal you've chosen, so we can get more information on that. So let's get into it. Go and get yourself a nice drink, find somewhere cozy, light a candle, and listen to your business guidance for February. Hi, those of you that chose pile 1 and were attracted to this lovely piece of Amazonite with that lovely bright blue turquoise colour on it there. So let's get into your pile. So card number 1 is a general business guidance card. So let's have a look what we've got. So we have moved beyond intention to belief. Now this is all about self-belief, basically, and going from setting goals, setting intentions, to actually deeply believing that you are going to achieve what you want to achieve. So they are two quite different states. This card is a reminder that you are a light worker, you are a leader, you unify people, and you have a powerful message. And it's really important in February to let go of any old beliefs that might be holding you back and just cultivate more faith in what you're doing, even if you can't see the evidence yet that it's going to work. If you truly believe deep down that the direction you're going in is the right direction for you, then people will get behind it. It might just be that you are way ahead of the curve right now. Think about any old ways that are no longer working for you and really get clear on your values and beliefs at this time. That will really help you to move forward. And it's all about building bulletproof belief. How can you cultivate that in yourself? Often it's about timing. You know, we can try lots of different things until we hit on the right thing at the right time. But there are ways to build that kind of belief in yourself. If we struggle to do it ourselves, we can work with a coach, a mindset coach, who can help us to challenge emotional wounds, childhood emotional wounds, and move beyond them to create new beliefs about ourselves. Or if you're into self-development, you could get into books about mindset and building real belief in yourself at this time. The card shows the key imagery there, and I feel like in February you are going to make a move forward from like the goals and the dreams, maybe your list of what you'd like to happen, to actually getting to the point where you start to have the real belief in yourself that it's going to happen for you. So in February, just explore different ways to go from the dreams, the intentions, to actually fully believing in what you're doing. Realizing that you are onto the right idea at the moment. You're going in the right direction. You can use things like oracle cards to help you to have feedback, to know that you're going in the right direction as well. I use oracle cards a lot just to check in that I am not veering too far off track, if that makes sense. But yeah, and we've got that fiery red as well, energy going on in February. So it's important to maybe tap into the color red, maybe wear some red in February as well, just to help you to get into that mindset where, you know, nothing can get to you. You are firmly on the right path and you are heading where you need to be. what different tools and techniques can you use to really build strong faith in yourself at this time, and put those into place in February, and you'll see really big results. Okay, so card number 2, we have the Advocate. So again, this card is all about faith, very much about intentions and staying in balance. We can see the scales here on that statue. And in February, it's going to be easier to see the bigger picture right now, or in previous months, it might be that you're just kind of seeing little bits of the future and how things are going to be. But I think you are going to be given more of a bigger picture in February. If you tune into your guides, tune into your intuition, that will be shown to you. Try and keep a level head and listen to your heart before making any big moves. It's important in February to let go of the need to be right. If you are in discussions with people, it's not important. It's important to put your ego aside and find the middle ground in terms of dealings with other people. If you're in a difficult situation right now with somebody, work-wise, business-wise, it's important to try and find the middle ground, because there is a win-win situation. It doesn't need to be that there's a winner and loser in this. Both of you can figure out a way forward. And right now, it's important to weigh up the facts from an unbiased perspective. The key word here is reconcile. So reconciling arguments, miscommunications, any difficulties with other people, staying in balance, and also speaking your truth. The Advocate energy is very much about standing up, speaking your truth, speaking out for other people, maybe even being on a stage. It's very much about the throat chakra as well. So any opportunities that you get to speak up, I would take in February. And I feel like there will be some opportunities coming on that in February as well for you. Okay, so let's look at the next card. So this is the abundance card here. So we have no more complaining. So this is very much about abundance mindset, prosperity mindset. And I think most of us know that if we get into a cycle of complaining and moaning about everything, that can drastically affect our ability to manifest. Obviously, this can be difficult if we are around people who are in that kind of energy. We can find ourselves just automatically speaking things that we wouldn't normally say if we get pulled into that kind of energy. And if that happens, just say to yourself, cancel, clear, delete. If you notice yourself getting dragged into complaining energy in February, it's really just about practice and being aware of when this happens. It's so easy to fall into moaning about finances, for example, if things are difficult. So if you're finding that's happening, it's important to use affirmations to help. I use the I Am app on my phone, which sends me positive affirmations all throughout the day, and you can set it to money affirmations, which are really helpful if that is an issue. You can also set it to business affirmations, relationship, whatever life area you want, or have a mix. So in February, just be really careful to watch your thoughts, write them down, and be aware of being around negative people and limit that. Just what I said before, if you're really struggling with negativity, it can be helpful to write your thoughts down and challenge them as well. I've done that in the past, definitely, when I've been really in a bit of a rut with this. So just be really, really aware of when that's happening in February. The card says complaints are affirmation of victimhood, which is never true spirituality. Take back your power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. With increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. I think it's that as well. I think it's often we forget that we have a choice to think differently. We're so embedded in the reality of the situation, and it is difficult to think something different if money is very, very tight. But it just is not helpful to carry on complaining and getting into a negative spiral about it. I would recommend reading some books on abundance mindset. I will put a link to one in the description for the video, and also getting some oracle cards, which can really help to shift your mindset as well. And I'll link those too. So yeah, in February, try and avoid complaining as much as you can, and that will raise your vibration. Okay, so our self-care card for February is massage. And you could say getting a massage is never, going to be a bad thing. Hopefully, unless somebody hurts you, which shouldn't happen. This normally jumps out for me if I do have pains in my body, if I've been really stressed out recently and I see this card and it's just a reminder to make an appointment to have a massage. And it's so easy to forget to do that when we're busy. This is just guidance to think about getting a regular massage, maybe once a month. And as this could really, really help you just to feel better generally, to lift your energy. And it can also mean just creating a relaxing zone in your home where you have aromatherapy, maybe candles. You can even massage your own hands and feet. Just any time of the day, which is really relaxing as well. Or you could ask somebody around you if you could swap massages. And yeah, like obviously the card is signifying lower back pain, which a lot of people have. And it's also showing the neck and the hands and feet there as well. So maybe just a bit of a message about those areas if they're troubling you, and to pay attention to them. And also, this is a sign if you are new to spirituality and thinking about having a business, that you would be a good massage therapist. This would be a skill that you would be naturally talented doing. So that could be a bit of a sign for you there as well. Okay, so now we are going with our fortune cards. And we have the card of goals, which links in a little bit to what I was saying in card 1 about moving beyond intentions and goals to actual bulletproof belief that you can achieve what you want to achieve. So we have coins on the card there. So material wealth is depicted, but obviously this could be fitness goals, gaining more time back, lifestyle goals, lots of different things. It doesn't just need to be money. And on the card, we have progress is positive and personal goals will be achieved. So I think in February, pile 1, you're watching this, then I just feel like with these cards coming out that you will be able to tick off some more of your to-do list, the goals. And I think that's going to really help you with that deep belief that we need in ourselves to be able to move to the next level, basically, in what we're doing. So I think that that's a really good sign. This card also talks about keeping going in the face of criticism and challenges. And if you have a really big goal, it will seem closer to reach that in February. And there's also some guidance around learning new skills. It's a good time to set new goals in February, letting go of any old plans that no longer fit into your future going forwards. And there's an energy as well of, you might be beginning again, having a bit of a rebirth situation going on. So it's absolutely a great time to set new goals. It doesn't just need to be New Year's resolutions. I think often we can have so many things to achieve and feel like we have so much work to do that we can feel like we're less than, or we're only gonna really love ourselves when we get to where we need to be. But this card is just saying to you that you are enough. It doesn't matter how many things you want to achieve, you are fine as you are right now. Again, if you're reassessing your goals, it's a good time to write them out and display them somewhere around the home alongside an image of maybe someone you admire, someone who has achieved things that you would like to achieve, similar things as well, and that can be quite a good motivator. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely going to be one thing that's been on your to-do list for a while that you can cross off in February and feel really good about. So that could be the first thing that springs to mind when you see this card as well. Okay, so now we're going to find out more about the crystal that guided you to deck 1, which is Amazonite. Sure. I'm going to move that. So Amazonite is all about seeing the truth. It's talking about how there's a plan unfolding for you, so much more brilliant that you can imagine. So this might be why the topic of goals has come out a lot, because you might have a very clear idea of what you want to achieve in 2024, but it might be that there's just an even bigger plan for you this year. And if that resonates, then that's probably the case. So the Amazonite crystal is here to help you trust in the process and flow, and allow situations to evolve instead of trying to control everything. There's a lot of wisdom being made available for you right now, and pay attention to connections that you have forgotten about or overlooked. There's a message here about allowing situations to evolve instead of trying to control things too much as well. And that will bring you a lot of wisdom, because often we are trying to push and force things to happen when really what we should be doing is sitting back a bit more, listening to our intuition and seeing how things evolve instead of forcing ourselves down a path which may not be right. It's also talking about paying attention to connections with people that you might not have thought were very important in the past, and people that you may have met quite a while ago, because there are people out there that you've made connections with that are going to come into play in February. People might get back in touch with you about work, about collaborations, that kind of thing. So be on the lookout for that. So the prosperity message with Amazonite is about getting out of the familiarity of old patterns that aren't working for us. And there are times when we're in an in-between phase, though, where we're seeing the potential future and we're letting go of things and embracing the new. So that can be a bit of a challenge. But again, the big message here is you are enough, and you might still have some growing to do to fully embrace what's unfolding. So really pay attention to what is happening around you. Even if you don't have all the answers, I feel like they are being revealed to you in February. And again, try and go with the flow, let go of the need to be constantly in control, and ask the universe for help with this. Ask for help to be brave and enthusiastic as the unfamiliar is in front of you at the minute, and trust that everything will be revealed to you when you're ready. It's like if this complaining has been going on, then you're getting returned to your natural state of prosperity and abundance, which might have been clouded by, struggles and challenges over the past few months. And you're being asked to walk down a path that's going to take you away from false beliefs about your potential. So any lies that you've been telling yourself about what you can and can't achieve. I feel like if you work with this crystal, it's really going to help with that. If you meditate with Amazonite, it encourages you to explore who you are at the deepest level, and it helps us to figure out what's true for us, what's true for you at the core of your being, and it asks you to own what you know is your truth with unshakable certainty and absolute confidence. So if that resonates for you, I really recommend getting some Amazonite and maybe meditating with that, sleeping with it under your pillow, whatever you like to do with crystals. And if you haven't used them before, yeah, I often get a new one and I will put it under my pillow. I will sit with it. I will hold it in meditation, those kinds of things. So if that message resonates with you, then definitely get hold of some Amazonite in February. Okay, so pile one. Now we have the She Sirens card, which is a deck which is very much about feminine energy. And you have the Focus card, and we've got a very strong third eye element going on there in this card. So this links in with your goals cards, actually. So February is a really great month to get focused, especially if you have been struggling with that, if you felt scattered, distracted, if you've been procrastinating, all of those things. So I feel like this is available to you more in February if that's been an issue. It also is asking for you to look at what brings you pleasure and what nourishes you, and what helps you to avoid getting into a negative state, such as the complaining card. If you're struggling to focus, it might be a good idea to try something like the Pomodoro technique, which is where you work for 20-minute blocks and use an alarm to help you to focus in small bursts. There's also a really good book called Atomic Habits, which helps you to break things down into smaller chunks and to try different techniques to help with focus as well. And it might be that there's health things going on, like if you're in perimenopause, it can affect your focus, that kind of thing. So just be aware of what's going on. And if you need extra support with this, then seek that out. But I do feel like you are going to be able to get your head down and get stuff done in February. And our final card, we have Embracing, with the lovely intertwined sunflowers there. So this card is basically saying in February, embrace it all, the dark and the light. All experiences are relevant, and I think it's easy for us to just want to put a lid on negative experiences and forget about it. But we should equally embrace everything that's going on, because our biggest lessons can be in the difficult times. This is also a bit of a nudge to think about doing some shadow work if that's something that you think would help you to move forward. I think a lot of us naturally want to suppress negative feelings. You know, we talked about no more complaining here, and I think this is more about just bringing awareness to when we're doing it unconsciously. And you know, like, it's pretty much impossible for anyone to be positive 100% of the time, but we can definitely minimize unnecessary kind of negatively spiraling. But it's important for you not to suppress the negative feelings in February and bring them up to the light, like these sunflowers are growing really tall and reaching up to the light there. So it's very much about embracing it all in February. We've had some cards that have come out that have talked about different challenges, and I do feel like you are going to make big steps forward. So much going on in that reading there about goals as well. If the Amazonite resonated with you, then I would recommend getting some of that to help you. Go for a massage if that resonated as well. And yeah, I just think that you're going to make big strides forward in February, pile one. So really good luck with that. I'm sure you will achieve what you need to achieve. And thanks for watching. Hello to you if you picked pile 2 and were guided towards this lovely amethyst. So we have a crystal card in the reading which will explain more to you about the amethyst crystal, but let's have a look at what your pile says. Okay, pile 2. So your general business guidance for February is nourish the sacred feminine. So February for you is really a time of introspection, going within and waiting for things to develop. It's not a time to be pushing out there as much. It's about listening to your intuition, pausing, and very much going inwards instead of pushing outwards. It's an important time to pay attention to your dreams. As well, I feel like there'll be messages coming through to you in your dreams, so it might be a good idea to keep a dream journal next to your bed so you can write them down as soon as you wake up, and just trusting any nudges and signs and messages that you might be getting in February. It's important to let go of fear of the unknown as well, and negative self-talk, and shadow work is also mentioned in the guidance for this card. So if you feel like there is work to be done on any of the darker things, I think we all have the light and the dark in us, and if you're being guided to do that work, then February is a really good time to get started on that. If you're not sure what shadow work is, then just do some research on it. It might just be that it's enough to just do a little bit of research and see what it's like before you get into it at this time. But it can be very helpful to help us to move forward, because we're looking at the stuff that we often don't want to look at, the more difficult things. But February for you is definitely a time to embrace your feminine energy as well. Where you could like wear more dresses. I know it's not very warm in a lot of places, but you know, light candles, like just be in that kind of feminine energy as much as you can. And yeah, it's almost like a bit of a cocooning energy as well. So if you're not quite ready to go out there yet in 2024, then that's absolutely fine. And remember, often it takes us 6 weeks to get into the energy of the new year. So I think a lot of us expect us just to be in it straight away and off, but it really, in my experience, doesn't really work like that. So be kind to yourself. Nourish that feminine side of you in February. Okay, so our second card is our goddess card, and you have got the beautiful card of Odyssey. And notice how similar the colour is in these cards as well. You've got the gorgeous purples, lavenders and turquoises, which are reflected here in the water and the sky. So I love the fact that they both came out together for you. Now, the Odyssey card is all about a quest. We can see the lady here crossing the bridge. So this is showing you crossing over into the next chapter as well. It's kind of like a pilgrimage energy. It might be that you've been on a long journey to get to where you are right now, and I feel like you're quite close to where you want to be. This card is very much, it has the energy of an explorer, an adventurer, a free spirit, this figure here. So I'm guessing that is probably describing your energy, or you may be stepping into that kind of energy right now if you want to explore your spirituality further or travel, that kind of thing. It's almost like a quest for fulfillment. You are wanting to feel fulfilled and satisfied, to feel nourished as well at this time. So it's important to be in the present and have gratitude for what's going on. And I do feel like there's a bit of a wild ride coming up for you. And it's important to look inward, as we've heard in this card, and then take action before you take the steps. It's going to be important for you to go within and then take action, and not forget to go within and listen to your intuition first, which is quite easy to do. It's important to embrace all experiences at this time as well, even things that might not be massively positive, because there could be really important lessons in those. And it's also talking about a mission to be of service as well. So you are definitely here to help people, to help them to move past challenges, to help them to be the best version of themselves. And that's just a small reminder of that here. I absolutely love this card. So next we have our abundance card, and we have organize for success. So again, we've got this blue kind of theme going on here, maybe relating to the throat chakra for you. February being a time of the throat chakra, of healing going on there, you speaking your truth, speaking up more as well. Basically, this card is saying don't be intimidated by the word organize, as it's a way for you to get really clear on what you want. And it's a really good time to organize thoughts, paperwork, your living and work space, and your finances, because this is going to help you to move on to the next phase of your life. Really, this could be something that you've been struggling with, and you realize that it is time to get into this energy. And I feel like I talk about this all the time in my Facebook group, but it's got the energy of decluttering as well as your space, also your mind as well. So maybe bringing some meditation in here, or learning new techniques to feel better organized, basically. Obviously, in business, it's important to keep on top of our finances and keep good records of what we earn and what we spend, income and expenses, all of that. So it might be watching this might be a nudge just to get your finances up to date as well. And it can, getting organized can be scary, but it's definitely going to make us feel way better afterwards. So it is worth putting the effort into that. Okay, so now we've got our self-care card, which is one that I really love. Again, turquoise energy, and we have sweet treat. So this is showing a lady who is baking. She has maybe a sweet tooth. I don't know if you're like me, but I definitely have a sweet tooth. But it's interesting because she's like baking muffins, but there's some fruit and vegetables going on there around her, as well as some sweets. So I feel like this card is about treating yourself now and then, which, can be difficult if you're on a bit of a healthy eating plan, especially, a lot of us after Christmas, we are doing that. But because it's showing the sweets and the fruit and vegetables, it's talking about balanced eating, but remembering to give yourself a treat now and then as well, because otherwise it just all becomes quite depressing. This is also a little nudge if you have been overindulging, to bring your eating back into balance as much as you can. It's talking about sweet things here, but I feel like any kind of baking, just making the time to cook from scratch, to cook a meal as well, would be really beneficial for you, to help you to stay in balance right now. And when we're busy, it can be easy just to grab food and just to kind of eat ready meals and that kind of stuff. But I feel like your guide's just saying it's important for you to slow down and savor the process of cooking and baking, and how creative that can be. In February, I think it's a good time to research new recipes, spend time, maybe go to your favorite bakery or restaurant, and treat cooking and baking as like a ritual as well, which is really nice to stay in balance. And really express gratitude for your food, and be mindful when you eat as well. Really kind of be in the moment, chew your food, take your time, don't rush eating, all of that type of thing. But yeah, definitely bring some balance when it comes to food, but don't deny yourself too much as well, if that makes sense to you. Okay, so next we have our fortune card, which on the face of it looks a little bit negative, but often these cards are really important because they tell us about challenges that might be coming up. So we have the Thorns card. So this says, weathering the challenges ahead will bring in a new and positive future. So even though we've got some spiky thorns here, we do have the sun behind it, which is the light at the end of the tunnel. It could be that your goals and priorities are changing, and it's important to take good care of yourself and get support if you need it. And try and avoid arguments as much as possible in February. If there are financial challenges, then budgeting will really help at this time, and just being really careful and watching your finances right now. And these cards have a little bit of practical guidance with them, and this one actually says to put a dragon facing the door of your home or office, which is going to bring more wealth. So that could just be like print out photo of a dragon or a little dragon statue if you have that kind of thing. But I guess it's a bit like a lucky cat, but the guidance said about placing a dragon facing the door of your home or the door of your office to bring in more abundance if it is finances that are challenging you in February. So now we have the crystal card, which is Amethyst. Again, the purple theme going on here nicely, and tying in with your crystal that you picked. Just going to move that up. So Amethyst is kind of like a catch-all crystal. It kind of has many properties of lots of different crystals together. And in this context, it's talking about old patterns in need of being released. It can be a reminder to stop surrendering to habits and being present and examining your habits as well. And I think I mentioned this was in the previous Piles reading, but there's a really good book called Atomic Habits, which can help with this if you're struggling to leave old habits behind that no longer work for you. It's talking about, do you need a new routine, or even just like a small thing being added to your routine that can make a massive difference. It's saying, if you tend to sacrifice a lot and do a lot for others, how could you nurture yourself more in February as well? And many of us obviously care for others, and we can put ourselves last. What habits can you bring in to build security and increase prosperity? And can you see how the old habits these replace should have been discarded quite a long time ago? The message the crystal is bringing to you is to be conscious of your habits so you don't fall asleep to your potential. And it's saying you deserve so much more than what you have right now. And this might be tying into this Thorns card. I feel like you've got so much potential, but there has probably been some sort of a struggle going on, which can make us think that we're not going to reach it and we're going to stay stuck in the struggle energy. And it's important to replace old habits that don't work any longer with new ones that are going to bring you to where you deserve to be. The prosperity message with this card is talking about money habits that are ready to be questioned and changed. So you can get off the feast or famine cycle where we maybe have 1 month have quite a lot of work or business and the next we have none. Often we can be afraid to look at our finances because we don't trust ourselves to, be able to be good with money. And the amethyst crystal here is asking you to give up the drama and fear and pay attention to your patterns related to abundance. It's saying that there are a few inner changes that are needed so the outer conditions reflect your potential, who you're going to be, who you're working towards being. And that's somebody that's prosperous and abundant, that doesn't have to worry about money. And as I said at the beginning, amethyst can kind of be a bit of a catch-all crystal. But its main quality is it helps us to calm our mind, release attachment to what we think we should be doing, and it helps us to relax. And if we meditate with amethyst, it clears the mind of too many thoughts, helps us to disconnect from being too busy in our daily lives, and helps us to connect with spirit. And it can really help you to explore your intuitive abilities. So if you feel guided, if you don't have any, you could get some amethyst to work with in February, to put it in your workspace, on your desk, use it in meditation. I feel like definitely working with amethyst this month is going to really help deal with stress and any challenges that may be coming up as a result of that Thorns card. Okay, so our She Sirens card is Alchemy. And again, we've got some lavender and blue energy here. So this is just a huge theme, which I'm absolutely loving. We've also got, this could be rose quartz, but it's a bit purpley as well. So it might be a bit of amethyst there too. But this is just a reminder that if you are watching this reading and you've picked this pile, is that you're an alchemist, you're a healer. You can turn ideas into real, tangible, really great things. You can change dark thoughts and being in a complete rut into being optimistic and positive. And you can help people to change states, to go from a negative state to a positive state as well, probably as a result of what you've been through yourself. This is about transformation as well. Traditionally, alchemists would turn like metal into gold, I think. And I think this is talking again about inner transformation, which links in to card number 1, Nourish the Sacred Feminine. So in February, I think you're going to be remembering who you truly are, which is this alchemist, and somebody who can change their own state from negative to positive, somebody who has great ideas which you can turn into products and services to help other people and to be successful in business, and also to help other people to go through transformation as well. So that's just a confirmation of that. And our final card is our soul coaching card, which is Passion. Really love this card, just loving the energy of this flower there. So I think even despite challenges in February, you are going to be feeling a lot more passionate about things, especially if you've been despondent and maybe not really wanting to work on your business, being in a bit of a rut. And I feel like you're going to be getting the energy back to start to do what you're passionate about again. Be this in work or your hobbies. It could be that you have wanted to cocoon a bit and stop doing the things that really light you up. So I feel like this passion is definitely coming back in for you in February. Figure out what you love and literally point your arrow to the target and go for it. Often we can forget what we're passionate about. So if that's happening, it's really helpful to think about what you enjoyed doing in childhood. What gave you joy? Was it dancing, being out in nature, some sort of creativity? And the guidance is just don't wait to follow your passion. Do it now as much as you can. And it's just, so important to feel passionate about things in life. I think it just really keeps us going, and often our passions can change over the course of time. So it might be that new passions are coming in. This could also obviously be relationship related as well, even though this is a business reading. But yeah, if you are on the lookout for more of this relationship wise, this is also a sign that this is available for you in February. But overall, I love all the synchronistic colours in this reading. It's just such feminine, to me, like feminine colours, feminine energy happening. We've got the blue, which is generally the throat chakra, and the purple, which is generally the around the crown chakra as well. So those two are coming in very strongly. So if you are looking to do some work on those, then you can go on YouTube and find throat chakra meditations, crown chakra meditation, or go for some chakra healing and work on those upper chakras as well, which will help to improve your connection to spirit and your guides, which is the crown chakra, and the throat chakra is all about speaking your truth and communication as well. So if that resonates, then look into that. But I hope that resonated for you, pile 2, and thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Hi, if you chose pile 3 and the Sodalite crystal, we have 8 cards in this pile, and we're going to look at different areas of business for you in February. So let's dive right into it. There is a crystal card which will tell us more about the properties of Sodalite later on in the reading. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so our first card, general business guidance, is in balance. So February for you is all about staying in balance as much as possible, having patience, moderation, dropping perfection as much as possible, trying to avoid juggling too much and relaxing more instead. This will make sense if you feel like you are risking burnout. You've been working really hard maybe over the past 3 months. So this is just a sign that sometimes actually relaxing and not doing as much can also bring results, because we're not pushing and forcing as much, which can block our energy to receive. So it's going to be important in February for you to come back to center, do what helps you to feel grounded and calm, being in nature, meditation, having salt baths, any of those things. And moderation is key. It's important to try not to be too busy or too quiet, just to be somewhere in between. And just try and plan having balanced weeks where you have time to yourself, time to just put the work down. You can schedule that just like you would schedule a meeting or an appointment, and just keep a check on your thoughts, watching out for being overly self-critical, and just be aware if that's happening and challenge it, especially if you're slowing down a bit and that's not natural to you. When we have a business, it seems really counterintuitive to not do as much, but sometimes it is exactly what we need. So yeah, February is all about balance for you, and not so much about pushing and forcing and hustling. Okay, so we next have our goddess card, which is the artist. And this is all about creativity, dreaming, and designing our own reality. There's definitely some visionary energy here. So even if you don't identify as an artist, literally, you are definitely creative. Maybe not in a traditional sense, but this is just a confirmation of that. And you have creative ideas that you can bring into reality as products and services for your customers. In February, it's important for you to get crystal clear about your vision and goals. And here is where vision boards and visualization exercises can come in handy. The statue there, Apollo, is symbolizing to enjoy the beauty of your business journey as well, and the times when you get to be really creative and you feel like you're in flow with everything and it just feels so great. And yeah, it's just a reminder that art and creativity have many different forms, and we should drop that traditional meaning of what an artist is, because it's so many things. In February, it's a time for you to get curious Get in touch with your inner child work, and make time for play. Like we saw in the balance card, it mentioned balancing work and play. And we have a blue butterfly on this card as well, some blue butterflies there, which brings beauty into your life. So watch out for any butterfly symbolism as well. Something practical you can do here is write a best life list. How would you feel if you were living your best life? What would that look like? Get really detailed about that and take small action steps towards that. So yeah, February, recognize your inner artist, dream big, create as much as you can. Maybe find some creative hobbies or new creative hobbies that are gonna bring you joy, and so you can be creative just for the sake of it and not necessarily to be paid for it. But yeah, I really like the rainbow. There's some lotus symbolism there, I think, and the butterflies too. So yeah, just tap into your inner artist in February, and I think that'll be massively helpful to stay in balance as well, and also see where you can bring your creativity into your business as much as possible. Okay, so next we have our abundance card, which is unlimited ideas. So this ties in really well with the artist card, which obviously all about creativity, new ideas coming in, that kind of thing. So in February, I feel like you will see lots of new ideas coming in that you can use in your business. Lots of downloads. You might just wake up with an idea, or an idea might just come to you in the shower or whilst you're driving, which will bring blessings. You can also meditate to access these new ideas as well, and being out in nature is a really good way to do that. Anything you can do to block out the noise is going to help you to be able to hear your guidance better. It's going to help you to have a more open channel, we call it, in the spiritual sense. Watch out for other people bringing new ideas to you in February as well, or people recommending you books maybe, or some training that's going to help you to move forward on your path. Just keep an eye open for any signs or any obvious recommendations for something for you that is really going to help you to move forward in a new direction and get some new ideas for products and services as well. Okay, so our self-care card for February, pile 3, is positive affirmations. Now, as we know, you've probably heard of positive affirmations being used by lots of people to try and raise their vibration, challenge negative thinking, generally just feel better about themselves and have better energy. So yeah, we can see those written on the body of this lady here. I love myself, brave, beautiful, worthy, grateful. So spend time on February on maybe incorporating positive affirmations into your daily routine, daily practice. You can even take photos of affirmations, maybe Google positive affirmations, or look on Pinterest and then turn them into wallpaper on your laptop or phone. I use an app called I Am, which sends me positive affirmations all during the day to really remind me to stay in that positive mindset. And you can set that to business affirmations, relationship affirmations, whatever is going to help you on that particular day. There's a free version, and then I think it's just like a very small amount every month to keep getting it. And you can also put them on post-it notes around the house to remind you to think positively about yourself and the future. And it's also important to receive compliments in February as well, and not just bat them away like a lot of us do. And what we radiate out, we'll receive that in return in February. So identify any thoughts that are stopping you from being positive, and then really work on switching those negative thoughts around as much as possible. Even write down any challenging thoughts and then and then challenge the thought basically in 2 columns. That can be really helpful, because often we're just putting a negative spin on things when actually things are way more positive than you think. So I would definitely incorporate positive affirmations into your daily routine in February for really good results and raising your energy, which is going to help you to manifest more. Okay, so our fortune card for February, pile 3, is the Fire card. So this says, let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the past. So fire is a very potent energy and element. So it's definitely, they're saying that February is a time of renewal and purification. There is the opportunity for a new path ahead, but we need to let go of the past. And this could be past projects, past businesses, relationships. And it's kind of like you're moving towards a major life transition at the minute. I hope that resonates for you. There's new goals coming in. You may be feeling more ambitious than before. And it's just a time of enormous personal growth. And there may be lots of endings happening, which can be scary, but they're necessary for you to move forward. And you'll actually feel rejuvenated by the endings in this case. One way to really tap into the fire energy is to print out a picture of a dragon or have a little dragon statue and put that on your front door or on your desk for strength and power. But yeah, I feel like February is there's going to be a lot of transformation going on. You can even write down the things that you want to let go of and throw them in a fire safely, or light a candle and like burn what you want to get rid of as well. So there's quite a few different ways you can use fire to help let go of things that no longer serve you. So any opportunity you can get to do that in February, I think would really help you to move forward as well. Okay, so we come on to our crystal card. So you were drawn to the Sodalite crystal, the dark blue crystal at the beginning. So we're going to look at the properties of Sodalite and how that can help you in February as well. So Sodalite is about conscious awareness. It's about inner knowing and self-confidence, and also clearly expressing yourself. Blue crystals tend to be linked to the throat chakra, which is all about clarity of expression, speaking your truth, clear communication, all of those things. And Sodalite is about being fully awake as you make all kinds of choices that will influence your well-being. So linking into the balance card as well. When we are cut off from our connection to bigger things, that can help us to get stuck in negative habits. We can just be on autopilot. We're pushing and forcing everything to happen. So when we connect back, if you want to call it the universe, source, whatever that is, it can just make our lives flow much easier. This crystal helps us to wake up and notice where we're being complacent and not following through with our work as we promised ourselves. And if we spend more time, as we said in the balance card, connecting with meditation, connecting to the universe, then we will hear the ideas and the messages that we got in the Unlimited Ideas card. And this can help us to get out of our own way. And instead of trying to do everything by ourselves, we can co-create with your guides, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And if this is a new concept for you, just do some research on, source, universal energy, that kind of thing, because it might be new to you. So have a look into what that means as well, because it just can make things so much easier when we're connected, as opposed to when we're totally disconnected and just operating on our own, really. The prosperity message with Sodalite. Sodalite can guide you when you're seeing scarcity instead of abundance. And this crystal will help you to co-create prosperity and helps you to get past old fears keeping you stuck in habits that we need to leave behind. And we all fall into these habits because we learned them a long time ago. But this crystal has appeared here to awaken you so you can catch yourself before veering off the path you've chosen for yourself. And yeah, so if you're feeling guided, I would look at getting a piece of Sodalite. You can maybe sleep with that under your pillow, put it on your desk or somewhere in the house that's prominent, sit with it in meditation. But I think it will definitely help you to see what you have instead of what you haven't got as well, which can really help us to manifest what we want. It also teaches us to be in the here and now rather than looking back over the past or looking into the future. And it helps us to see the wisdom of our journey so far. And it helps us to integrate everything that's happened to us, whether that be negative or positive. Okay, so our She Siren's Feminine Energy card is Wonder. Really love this card. We have the sunflower energy going on there, which is really uplifting. And Wonder is just all about, in February, letting yourself be awestruck by life and giving yourself time to daydream and imagine and really look at life. Imagine that you were just coming in as a newborn baby and how wonderful it can be. Try and avoid focusing on the negative, looking at negative news, that kind of thing, because it can really affect our ability to be in that wonder energy. And you could also, it's a bit more difficult, but imagine if you were told you didn't have much time left and how you maybe would see the world differently and really savor it and take it in. So yeah, February's a great time to indulge in these things. As we said in the previous cards, a time to slow down, allow yourself to just not do anything, to free your mind a bit. And then when you do that, often the best ideas come in as well. So give yourself time to wonder in February. And then our final card, our soul coaching card, we have the card of freedom. Really love this card. It obviously can mean quite a lot, but if you're new to business, you've left behind a 9-to-5, then this is a really positive sign that you're on the right track, and this could be one of your core values. I think a lot of us that are self-employed, freedom really does become one of our core values. We like to be able to work when we want. We don't want anyone overseeing us, or we don't really like to be managed or told what to do. And it can also mean that in February, you're having a bigger sense of freedom coming in. And this could be many things. This could be maybe delegating some work so you have more free time to spend with your family, or to focus on yourself. This could also be about travel as well, if you're wanting to maybe work and travel and have some sort of freedom in that sense. And I think it's definitely a time to take some permanent steps to gain more freedom at this time, definitely. We are going to be able to step out of self-imposed boundaries and limitations imposed by others more in February as well. So if boundaries are a problem for you, then you could kind of get some support around that if necessary. I think a lot of us, we have a tendency to put others before ourselves a lot of the time, which is needed, but sometimes it will really lead us to burnout. So just be very aware of your boundaries as well in February. But I definitely feel like there's an energy of living life more on your own terms and breaking free from shackles and things that have held us down in the past. And this could be relating to financial freedom as well. Maybe paying off debts, money coming in, unexpected money, or just a raise in your income, which will give you the freedom to do more things. Obviously, money isn't the be all and end all, but it does give us that freedom to have more options. So I really hope that resonated, pile 3. Let me know in the comments, and thanks so much for watching. See you next month. Bye. Okay, so pile 4, welcome to your reading. You have picked the blue Chalcedony crystal, which is a really nice choice, and there is a crystal card in this pile which is going to tell us more about the properties of that crystal and how they can help you in February. So let us dive right in and see what your guidance is for February. Okay, so our general business guidance for February is, what's your honest truth? So it's saying that February is a month for authenticity and transparency, letting go of any masks that you might have been wearing. I think if we're in business, it's really easy to want to be the shiny version of ourselves all the time. On LinkedIn, just talking about how great everything is. But often if you can really express your vulnerability and authenticity, that can really speak to clients and they can resonate with that, and as a result want to work with you. I think in February you're going to be outgrowing a layer and shedding some limiting beliefs to get to your true essence, to who you truly are. And I feel like there's going to be some information coming in for you on what your soul purpose, your destiny and your calling is, the work that you're being called to do. And that might be different to what you're doing right now, or you may already be doing that. But you are going to take big steps in February towards that, and you're going to feel so much more fulfilled and satisfied as a result. And the big question to ask is, what feels true and right for your soul? Not logically, not to please other people, not to make a load of money. What is going to make you more fulfilled? And obviously this can evolve over time, and it's important to let go of any negative beliefs around what you can and can't achieve. It can be difficult to switch our business direction if we've been doing things a certain way for a long time, but you may just be feeling that that has to happen now, that things are getting too difficult doing things the old way, and it's scary to jump into something new, but it can be so worth it, especially if it's completely true to who you are and you're not having to pretend anymore. So yes, pile 4, what is your honest truth in February, and how can you incorporate that into your business to really feel fulfillment, to attract your ideal potential clients, and just feel better about what you're doing in general? So let's go on to card number 2. So this is your goddess card, and this, we have the alchemist card here, which the symbolism's very strong on this card. We've got the sword with the gold and silver serpents winding up it, and we have a big white rose as well. There's lots of light happening here as well. And basically this card is all about change, which links into the previous card. This is the staff of healing and truth, and it's all about transformation and renewal. So I think we're getting a strong message here. There's a lot of rebirth energy around in February, and it's really important to go within and listen to your soul, because this is the purest source of wisdom, creativity, and inspiration. We often spend a lot of time looking outside of ourselves for the answers, but I feel like in February, it's really important to spend time going within in meditation without distractions, and think about what you really want to do. If you're feeling not great at the minute, just remember that you're never broken. If it's a difficult situation, it's only temporary. And it's really important to look after yourself at this time. And this card wants to remind you that you are an alchemist, and you can turn dark to light. You can turn pain into power. You have the ability to change things from one state into another. And this is game changing, and you can really achieve a lot with this quality, but it's so easy to forget. And just have a look at any habits that are happening now that aren't serving you, and put into place some new routines if they're needed. We tend to forget that we go through cycles. Things can't stay the same forever. So we really need to learn how to surrender and let go of things that no longer work so we can welcome in new paths and directions forward. I feel like if you can let go of what no longer serves you, you're going to feel so much freedom from past pain, and you will be able to quite quickly turn victimhood into victory. So, this is just such a powerful message about what you can achieve, even if you may have forgotten that you have this power of the alchemist. And let's go on to your abundance card. So, we have a card called Moonlighting. So, moonlighting is when you are working on your business, but you may also be doing another job alongside of it. And often we need to do this to just keep steady money coming in. When we first start with our businesses, it can be a while until we start making regular income. So most of us will have to either work part-time or full-time as well. But this shouldn't stop you from following your dream, basically. This is what I recommend to my clients to do instead of jumping into things and without a safety net, which is what I've done a lot in the past. And it's just saying you can start working on your dream career part-time whilst keeping your other job to pay the bills, because soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. So if this is happening right now, then it's a sign just not to beat yourself up for, doing this and not being able to do your business full time yet. It could also be a sign that if things are a bit difficult financially, that it might be good for you to do some salaried work as well. And it just takes the pressure off your business. And we can just get down about our business if things are a bit quiet. So as long as you kind of pick the right environment to be in and the right people to be around, it could actually be a good thing to go back into employment again, even if it's just for a couple of months or to temp or something. It can lift our spirits if we're around new people as well. But I think it is really important to make sure that you're working in a company and an environment that suits you. If you're highly sensitive, just don't go into anywhere too harsh, and make sure it works for your life and your routines as well. Yep. So then we have our self-care card, and we have this gorgeous card, which is sound healing. So if you've been feeling stressed out recently, then this is a clear sign that sound healing will help you to stay in balance. In February, see if you can get to a sound healing class. And if that's not possible where you live, then there's lots of YouTube videos with sound healing sessions on them that you could try out. And they're really nice to listen before bed as well. A lot of sound healing, the frequency of the sound is at 528 hertz, which brings you to a meditative state. And you can look for sessions which suit, different moods, different chakras, if you're doing chakra healing. You can also just listen to audio on Spotify or Apple Music, any of those streaming services. And this card is also a sign that you would be naturally good at sound healing if you wanted to learn a new skill to use in your business. This could also be really healing for you as well as you practice with the sound bowls and other tools that you would use in sound healing. It would be very healing for you to go through training and learn how to do that as well as helping others. So definitely look into working with sound in February to help bring you into balance. Okay, so now we have our fortune card, and I love this for February. So you have the love card, which obviously has the typical depictions of love, like the roses and the hearts. And it says, love surrounds all of your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. So this is a really, really positive card for February. I think that you're going to be feeling more self-love and doing more practices if you are taking time out for self-care. That's just going to make you feel better in general. And I feel like you will be feeling more love in general, and maybe getting that more from other people as well. And I feel like your energy is going to be very magnetizing in February. It's like you're going to have an aura of attraction and some great networking opportunities coming in. Go into networking and really meeting people that you resonate with, that become friends, like-minded people. Maybe offers of collaboration, and also new clients, followers on social media, and business opportunities as well. There'll also be more opportunities to make money in different ways, different income streams, so watch out for them. And also travel can bring great new business connections. So you may be thinking about going on a retreat or something like that. And I feel like there would be some great opportunities by doing that. And the practical guidance is try and wear pink and red in February, and put pink or red flowers around the home for good luck. I just absolutely love that card. And I'm just trying to read the writing on it's kind of a bit like a love letter as well. So I definitely feel like you should buy yourself flowers, write yourself a love letter, all of that stuff. You might not want to buy into the Valentine's commercialism, but there's some really sweet things that you can get for yourself at the moment, or ask for. Yeah, so just show yourself a lot of love in February, and that will really help to raise your energy. Okay, so the crystal that guided you to this pile is called Blue Chalcedony, and here is the crystal card to go with it. So this crystal is all about slowing down, restoring balance and serenity, just like what we mentioned in the previous cards. And it's just talking about how the pace of life can feel overwhelming at times. And this crystal shows up when you need to slow down and feel more balance. So if you feel guided, you can get a piece of the crystal and use it in meditation, have it on your desk, and it should have positive effects. It's just saying, just because you're rushing around, it doesn't mean that you're going to get like security and stability. It doesn't always work like that. Often we need to slow down and just be, and that will help us to attract as many things, if not more, than running around trying to force everything. It's important to try and be in the moment in February and surrender your sense of urgency to the universe, because you may have been pushing too hard. And it's about transitioning from maybe old ways of working, maybe harder, not smarter, to new, smarter ways of working. And that is really going to help you to move forward in business. When we step out of our comfort zone, we can feel really scared and rush back to our old habits. And when we start doing things in a different way, it can really be challenging. Our ego can try and convince us that the way to get what you need is to work as hard and as fast as possible. But the best action for you to do right now is to slow down in February, and also allow yourself to get really clear about what you want, because that will help to draw to you what you need. There's also a repeated message about trying to be fully present. Even if you can't see what's next, even if the path ahead feels like cloudy and dark. So just be at peace with that. You know, we can't often see what's around the corner, and, you know, we don't often need to. It's nice to be surprised. So be in the now as much as possible. Meditation, yoga, nature, all of those self-care things as well can really help. The prosperity message from this crystal is talking about taking a closer look to what your path has been like. Is it time to consider changes? Are you happy with some of the things that are coming into being, or do you need to do some healing to ensure that you're comfortable with the new changes that are coming in? It's a bit crazy, but often if our business is doing better and we're earning more, we can feel uncomfortable with that, and we can almost like push the success away. So work on trusting yourself and You learn so much more that will help you to build and maintain a solid foundation if you slow down at this time. Basically, this crystal is a serenity stone, and if you meditate with it, it soothes the emotions, calms the adrenals, and brings peace to the body and mind. You can wear it in a necklace or a ring, or carry it around, especially when you are in a situation where staying calm is needed. So if you feel guided, I would really recommend getting some of this crystal in February. Okay, so our She Siren's feminine energy card is Courage. So February is definitely about trusting the universe, like we were talking about before, slowing down and trusting that's the right thing to do. And trusting yourself no matter what happens, really knowing deep down that what you're doing is right for you, no matter what else might be going on around you. And just remembering how far you've come and how brave you are to think about doing things differently and to tread a different path that most other people are doing. It's not easy to do things differently. There are lots of different challenges, but the business journey can be one of the most fulfilling journeys I think there is, and it teaches us the most about ourselves. And it's just important in February to really dig into that self-love as well, and trust that you're being guided and protected at this time, and just doing things that make you feel brave as well. You might want to do something like a zip wire or rock climbing or abseiling, or something that just pushes you out of your comfort zone a bit and reminds you that you're like really quite brave and you can take risks and be fine with that. So yeah, what does that card say to you? What does courage mean to you? And in February, what can you do to just remind yourself that you are brave, essentially? And how can you incorporate that into what you're doing as well, or maybe help other people with that? Okay, and our final card, our soul coaching card, we have fulfillment. And we have the lady just in the flower there with a heart. She's feeling completely fulfilled and satisfied with what she's doing. And this is key for February. Ask yourself what fulfills you, what brings you deep satisfaction and contentment. You may have planted the seeds already in your business, and it's now time for them to be harvested. And often in those periods, we do need to slow down a bit, like what has been the big theme of this reading. Work on any perfectionist qualities that you may have that stop you from feeling fulfilled and satisfied, because often if we're perfectionists, it can be really difficult for us to feel that. I know that I am, and I definitely have to work on that. Just remember that you are good enough and you deserve to feel joy and happiness. So even if there's big changes happening, you're letting go of the old and new things are coming in, and it's very, very challenging, then I feel like this is all happening for the best, because you're definitely going to feel more satisfied in terms of what you're doing next, and it's going to feel more true to you, more in alignment with who you really are. You can drop the mask, like in this card, and completely be yourself, which is going to be way less stressful, and you're just going to have a nicer time going forward. So pile 4, I really hope that was helpful. If it resonated, please comment and let me know. And have a great February, and I'll see you next month for March's reading. Bye.